President Obama was caught with his mic on criticizing the Prime Minister of Israel. We'll talk about it today on Faith and Freedom. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, during a time when we obviously need Israel as our strong ally in the Middle East, especially when the IEA talked about the nuclear race of Iran and the possible attack that may actually happen against Iran if they are at the verge of becoming nuclear, and it looks like they are. We should not have the President of the United States criticizing President or Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but that's in fact what he did. Didn't realize his mic was on, and Sarkozy of France said that he felt Netanyahu was a liar, to which Obama said something to the effect that, you don't like him, I have to deal with him every day.
Well, this was at the G20 summit recently, and Sarkozy declared, quote, "I cannot stand him. He is a liar," referring to Benjamin Netanyahu, one of the most upright and honorable men that I know of. Obama replied, listen to this, quote, "You're fed up with him, but I have to deal with him every day." And, you know, Matt, we have pointed out on Faith and Freedom time and again that through his policies and through his statements, President Obama has demonstrated really, there can be no other word for it, anti-Semitism, certainly a hostility toward the Israeli people and the Israeli government. And here we have him kind of with the mic on, in his own words, kind of supporting and reaffirming what we've been saying all along. You know, and I'm sure Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israelis are saying right now, and the Jewish people are saying, hey, with friends like Barack Obama, who needs enemies?
Well, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, came out and condemned Barack Obama's statement, as well they should. You know, we met with Benjamin Netanyahu in June of this year, and I found him to be a very engaging individual, man, I think, of high integrity. Yeah. And certainly, you know, we have clarion voices in the world, and he is one of those. Every time you hear him speak, he speaks with clarity about values and the issues of the Middle East, Israel, and the conflict that's taking place there. In fact, Dr. Jerry Falwell called Benjamin Netanyahu, when he was prime minister the first time, the Ronald Reagan of Israel. And I think the more you get to know him and his policies, he is the Ronald Reagan of Israel. So we should not be criticizing our greatest ally there. With the uprising that's taking place in Syria and in Egypt and other places in the Middle East, obviously with Iran moving towards nuclear capability, we need all the allies we can get. And the best ally that we have and have had there is Israel.
And yet President Obama, throughout his administration, has been on this world apology tour, really bowing, literally in many instances, to the dictates of radical Muslim nations. And it's really a shame, you know, and he says, you know, you're fed up with him, but I have to deal with him every day. Yeah, you know, that Benjamin Netanyahu, uppity Benjamin Netanyahu, saying things like, oh, well, we have a right to exist, and trying to push back against, you know, the radical Muslims coming in and blowing themselves up in pizza parlors, killing women and children. You know, boy, what a pain it must be for President Obama to deal with Benjamin Netanyahu. You know, it's just really nauseating.
The Jewish people are very resilient people, and when you go there, the things that they face, if we face them here, it would literally shut our country down. Yeah. But they are a resilient people. They just want to be able to live in the land that historically they've lived in for thousands of years, where they've been scattered from that land through different time periods. But that's the land of the prophets. That's the land of the birth of the nation of Israel. And they have a right to be there. They have a right to exist. Yeah. And yet Abbas of the Palestinian Authority does not recognize Israel's right to exist. Iran does not recognize Israel's right to exist. Both Ahmadinejad and Abbas deny that the Holocaust even exists. Abbas wrote a dissertation on that when he was pursuing what's the equivalent of his doctorate degree. So both of those deny that the Holocaust exists, and the only reason you do that is if you want to have another Holocaust. Yeah. And they've already said they want to wipe Israel off the map, particularly Ahmadinejad. You know, what we need to do is support Israel. And, Genesis chapter 12, verse 3 says that those who bless you, I will bless, and those who curse you, speaking to Abraham, I will curse. There is a resilience and there is a blessing that has been placed on Israel over decades and through the centuries. You know, Liberty Counsel has our Liberty Ambassador Counsel program. And we took a group of people there in September, and the responses from the people that went was just overwhelming. Some people said, I've traveled around the world. This is the best trip I've ever had. It was life-changing. There's not a day that they say, many of them, that we haven't talked about our experience in Israel. We're going back on January 3 through 12, and if those who are interested in the Liberty Ambassador program going back to Israel in January, you can give us a call at 1-800-671-1776.
Yeah, and what an adventure. I mean, what a wonderful experience, and the feedback we have gotten, as you point out, is tremendous. And also, as you point out, the Jewish people have been driven out forcefully time and again from their homeland and have returned, and they have done that again. And so President Obama's latest comments, again, I think I recently read that Israel has put out a report essentially showing how President Obama is the most anti-Israel president, United States president, that we've ever had. And as you point out, from a scriptural standpoint, that is not a good place to be. God will bless those who stand with Israel, and he will curse those who stand against Israel. As for me, as for you, as for Liberty Counsel, we stand with Israel.
Well, and we actually have a bumper sticker as well called Stand With Israel, and it has the American flag and the Israeli flag on it, and you can get a copy of this, or you can get this bumper sticker. I saw one on a car today as I was driving. Somebody obviously has gotten this from Liberty Counsel, and it's a Stand With Israel bumper sticker. You can call us at 1-800-671-1776 or go to lc.org and email us, and we'll send you a Stand With Israel bumper sticker. Now more than ever, I think we need to stand with Israel. And you know, Israel has been an amazing nation to come back into its land in 1948 to survive the 67 and 73 wars.
6-Day War.
And,
right.
yeah, and today to be surrounded by 300 million Arabs, and in fact, by the way, there was a poll recently done in East Jerusalem where there's a large Arab population, and a large percentage of them said that they would rather have Israel in the government than the Palestinian Authority, and that they know that the Palestinian Authority and the radical Islamic factions will not give them liberty, but it will be ultimately a repressive regime.
Well, Ronald Reagan once said that America is a shining city on a hill. And really, Israel is the shining city in the Middle East. Where do you find the freest Muslims in the world? Certainly in the Middle East. It's in Israel. It's ironic. The very political / religious, as kind of a socio-political structure, the Muslim religion, if you will, that literally seeks the annihilation of the Jewish people and the annihilation of the state of Israel. They welcome with open arms those Muslim people into Israel as long as they are peaceful and they can live in a legitimate democracy and do not face the persecution that millions of people face in Muslim countries.
That's right. Well, give us a call at 1-800-671-1776. If you're interested in the trip to Israel, January 3 through 12, that's the Liberty Ambassador Council is taking another trip to Israel, January 3 through 12. Call us at 1-800-671-1776. You can ask for Cherry Chisholm in our Orlando office. That's 800-671-1776. If you've never been to Israel, this is a good time for you to go. This is a spiritual tour, so you obviously get to see the biblical sites of Israel. But you also will have lectures and interaction with Israeli government officials, academics, and also military officials. And in fact, we had this amazing experience on a military base when we were there last time for about 3 hours or so. We had just an amazing briefing on a military base in the Valley of Jezreel. I mean, it's just a life-changing experience. People who went on the trip literally have had their lives changed. They're activists and involved now. Their faith has been strengthened. And they're now even greater ambassadors for Israel. So look at your calendar. It's January 3 through 12, trip to Israel. Call us at 1-800-671-1776. You can also get our bumper sticker, Stand With Israel, by calling that number, 800-671-1776, or go to lc.org. You can also contribute to Liberty Counsel to support our ministry by going to the website, lc.org, and making an online credit card contribution there, or remembering Liberty Counsel at the end of the year to support this ministry as we advance family, faith, and freedom.